Welcome back to another installment of Cooking with Chef Nick, the greatest culinary show on the internet. And remember, that's not me saying it. That's you. This is the democracy you want. I am very excited for today's episode because Red Barrel's just released Season 7 of the Outlast Trials, featuring a new trial environment, the Prison Farm. Amid the expected penal hijinks, the new trial also features a themed cosmetic for your cell, a jug of liquid labeled Pruno. Pruno is an improvised alcoholic beverage notorious in US prisons, made from fermenting produce and sugar in a plastic bag, often in secret away from the prying eyes of the guards. It's supposed to be disgusting. So when I found out, I thought, yes! Another stupid Outlast drink to make!
That looks exactly like cum.
Although there exist many ways to make Pruno with different ingredients and combinations, arguably the most famous recipe comes from a man named Jarvis J. Masters. Originally sentenced to 20 years in prison for armed robbery in 1981, Masters was later accused in 1990 of crafting a shiv that was used by other inmates to kill a prison guard named Dean Birchfield in 1985. Despite being put on death row, Masters has maintained his innocence to this day, and has spent his time in prison writing books and poems about his experiences. And trust me, I'm not about to get into Jarvis J. Masters discourse. We're here to make stupid drinks from horror games. One of Masters' poems, entitled Recipe for Prison Pruno, alternates the aforementioned recipe with the 1991 sentencing laid on him by the Superior Court, linked in the description. And by literally reading between the lines, we can gather our instructions for authentic Pruno. The ingredients consist of oranges, fruit cocktail, sugar cubes, water, and ketchup. Things you could feasibly find in a prison cafeteria or smuggled inside your cellmate's butthole. First, 10 peeled oranges need to be mashed until they're nothing but juice and pulp. Time to see if this is the best way to do this. Bring out the big guns. Oh! I got a bit of a biohazard element now. There's my skin. It can't be an Outlast video without blood and, frayed muscle, so, next, 8 ounces of fruit cocktail gets mixed in with it. That's a cherry, right, by the way. See? Cherry. This lovely concoction goes into a large plastic bag, along with 8 ounces of water. Next, the bag needs to be sealed and doused in hot running water for 15 minutes. Finally, wrap the bag in a towel and stash in a dry, quiet place for 48 hours. Time for the old smell test. Ooh! That is definitely pulpy. Now we add to this concoction 40 to 60 sugar cubes, according to the recipe. I guess we'll just split the difference and add 50. Oh wow, they're actual cubes. Never actually used sugar cubes before. So, did you know the average American consumes this much sugar per day? I literally felt my teeth corroding in my mouth. Next, we add 6 teaspoons of ketchup, for some reason. I don't like how it just resembles a congealed spot of blood. And now the mixture gets another hot water bath for 30 minutes. Oh shit, I see condensation happening. And now that goes back in the pantry for 72 hours. And during this 72-hour period, the bag needs to be given another 15-minute hot water bath once daily. Oh dear. We've got some, gases forming. Oh, and look at that color. Oh, this is the inside of my intestines after a bad night at Taco Bell. Taco Bell jokes never get old, by the way. I hope this thing doesn't pop. That was a bad omen. Now, the impression I've gathered is that the bacteria and the yeast that naturally occur in the fruit feed off the sugar and the ketchup, obviously, inducing the fermentation process. And these hot water baths are meant to invigorate the microorganisms further, making them produce more fermentation byproducts. I think. No offense to the prison population, but they're not exactly a primary resource for molecular biology. I'm just following the recipe. Oh, wow. That is vile. Has like a layered effect. I'm sorry, I have to. Actually smells very yeasty. Not as bad as I thought, but still pretty pungent. Like, I would not eat this normally, but these are not normal circumstances, so, you know, fuck me, I guess. The tricky part is getting it out of the bag and into a proper receptacle. Fortunately, I do have a plan.
Now comes the adventure. This is so gross. Holy shit. I think that's all she wrote.
Oh my goodness. What have we done? Ah! No, touch my skin. Shit. Oh. Oh my god. That literally smells like bile. I'm not kidding. Honest to God, bile. Well, there we go. Authentic prison wine, aka prison hooch, aka Pruno. In all seriousness, Pruno has been linked to several botulism outbreaks in US prisons, so I'm only going to taste, not swallow. I'm afraid. Like, I'm seriously afraid. I've not been this scared since the turpentine cocktail. Oof. Well, on Cooking with Chef Nick, this is Pruno. Immediately, just acid in the mouth, the taste of baby barf, the mildest suggestion of orange, and old ketchup with a texture I can only describe as runny nose. Look, I get that prisoners need to get their buzz, but this is not it. This is vile. If this was the only alcoholic drink I had in prison, I would become a freaking prohibitionist. I'm not kidding. I never want to do that again, and this concludes this episode of Cooking with Chef Nick. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go get some real alcohol to hopefully wash the taste from my mouth and the memories from my brain.